Hi everyone, Salesforce admin training, day 36. And let's say here today's agenda is we'll go through the previous session overview and we'll talk about the use of a platform event. Yesterday we have seen the new platform event use case. Now we'll see what is the use of platform event in Salesforce. What is the differences between the S object and a platform event? Then what is the custom label? How can you use the custom label in the flows? And then we'll move on to the auto launch flow, no trigger. Flow best practices, we'll have a flow best practices and flow orchestration and orchestration overview. Conclusion, trial head, today's interview questions. Now the first thing is use of a platform event in Salesforce. So what is the use of platform event in Salesforce? So the use of a platform event in Salesforce is whatever the custom notifications are there. If you want to deliver the custom notifications, then you will use the platform event. And basically in the real time, we will use it in the real time. We will use this for the event monitoring job, monitoring object. And similarly, we will be using it encrypting platform event message with Salesforce API. So whenever we wanted to encrypt, whenever we are using the APIs, for API, we will use the platform event in order to fire this. And similarly, we will be using it for the any testing, like a testing of the testing your platform events. You want to test your platform event using the Apex. So in Apex, we will be doing it. Similarly, for monitoring the platform event publishing, we will be using it. For monitor platform event publishing and delivery usage. And finally, we have a platform event constellations. So these are the main use of it, the purpose of use. Now let's see the differences between the S object and platform. So when we say S object and platform, S object is nothing but a DML, data manipulation, where we can perform all the DMLs, insert, update, delete in the S object. Platform event is where we can publish it. That means only insert. Only insert we can do. We cannot do the delete. Now socket in S object we can perform the socket. Whereas in the platform event, we can only do the streaming API. We cannot perform the socket. And here in the S object, we can implement a trigger. In platform event also, we can implement a trigger and subscribers. And in S object, we can have a parallel context execution. Whereas platform event, it's a guaranteed order of execution. Now, take a notes of it. Then Okay. So now let's move on, which is a custom label. Now, what is a custom label? Custom label. Now, basically, custom label is nothing but a custom text value. It is a custom text value that are created in the organization. So it is a custom variable. Custom label is nothing but it's a context, like a custom text value that are created in the organization. So these custom labels are are called from Apex Lightning components. That means Lightning Aura, LWC, Lightning Web Component, and Visual Force. And then we'll have these custom labels can be called from the Apex Lightning Aura component or LWC, which is nothing but a Lightning Web component, and then Visual Force and the plus. Anywhere we can call these custom labels. Now, custom labels can be to have the ability to change the text value. So if you want to modify, when I say custom text is nothing but without touching the code. Let's assume that you are using the custom label in the Apex. You are using the custom label in the Apex. Now without modifying the code, what you can do is you can refer the custom label. Now similarly, you can use the custom label in the flows. Now yesterday we have implemented a functionality in the platform event, right? So what we are doing is we are doing the get permission set. We are using the get permission set. Now how we are doing the get permission set? We are passing the name of the permission set in the flow. Now let me go ahead and show you that. Now let's say here, go to the setup and search for a flows. Call this flows. Let's go to the platform event. Let's say last modified by yesterday's date. Assign permission set to user. Now here we are doing the get permission set. Now I'm passing the value which is a permission set name. This is permission set name. Now if you click on this setup and if you search a permission set, on this permission set, in the permission set we have a app permission set. Now whatever the name of the permission set is there, API name of the permission set, this permission set we are passing it to the flow. And based on that name, it is going to pull this particular record. Now let's assume that tomorrow client will say that no, this is not the permission set that we wanted to assign. We want to go for a different permission set. We want to go for a different permission set. In that scenario, what I'll do, I need to modify the flow. I need to deactivate the flow and modify it. Similarly, in the Apex, if you want to modify anything, the API names of the object, or if you are passing the ID, when you are passing the ID, If you are passing the ID, now instead of modifying the code, use the custom label. Now in this scenario also permission set, right now I'm using the app permission set. Tomorrow they will say that no, we are going to use a different permission set. When they say that we are going to go for a different permission set, then it is a difficult for me to modify the flow directly in the production. Now in that case, what we can do, instead of modifying the flow, we can directly change the flow name, the permission set name in the custom label. In the custom label, we can change it and we can record that custom label here. So custom labels are, custom label can be used to have the ability to change the text value by admin without touching the code. Without modifying the code, you can change the value. And they can also be used to display the specific text. They should be able to use the value in the specific text on the models. Now can create a up to 5,000 custom labels per organization. Can create a up to 5,000 custom labels per organization. Each custom label can be up to 1,000 characters in the length. Up to 1,000 characters in the length. Now let's go ahead and show you that how to use a custom label. Now simple scenario. Now what I'm going to do, yesterday we are referring the name of the permission set directly in the flow. Now instead of doing that, now I'm going to create a custom label. In order to create a custom label, I'll in setup search for a custom label. Custom label. So click on this custom label. Let's say here I'm going to click on new custom variable, permission set name. Permission set name. Now in this permission set, this is the custom label. Now I'm going to use, instead of directly hard coding it in the flow, I'll use the custom label, I'll place it, click on save. Now I'll use this custom label. Now let's go to the flow here. Click on refresh. Edit permission set. Instead of hard coding the value, what I'll do is I'll say here label. So which is nothing but a custom label and permission set name. Click on done. Save as. I'll say here click on save and activate it. So tomorrow, if they wanted to change the permission set name, simply what they can do without changing the code here, simply I'll go to the custom label and I'll modify the value here. Whichever the permission set they wanted to assign, simply I will update it here. Let's say I wanted to update the permission set. Before they have used the app permission set. Now they want to assign a different permission set. Now what I'll do, I'll go to the permission sets. Let's pick one of the permission set here. Let's say I want to go for a Lightning email permission set. Lightning email permission set. Let's open this. And I'll select this API name. Go to the custom label, click on edit and modify this Lightning email permission set. Click on save. That's the API name, Lightning email permission set. Now, whatever we have used it, whatever we are going to change it. So basically on the account level, go to the account level, go to the account level. In the account level, whenever I'm changing the owner, now here support team, go to the related list. If I change the owner, let's say I'm going to change the owner to the Virat Kohli. What is the user for Virat Kohli? What are the permissions that are assigned? Let's go here. on this setup, users, let's say here Virat Kohli. Let me open this Virat Kohli. What are the permission sets that are assigned to this? App permission set is assigned. Right now, which one should be assigned? Lightning email permission set. So as soon as we update the owner, it should update the Virat Kohli. Password needs to be updated. I need to enter the phone number here. 3, and then 4. Click on save. I'm going to update the owner only account. So I update the owner and click on refresh. It is going to assign to permission set. Lightning email permission set. Now for updating the Lightning email permission set, did I modify it? I did not modify. I just made a changes to the permission set. Custom label. I just made a changes to the custom label. It automatically executed this. The custom labels are, instead of hard coding it, you can just use the custom labels. Directly you can pass the hard coded value within the custom label. So we can create maximum of 5,000 custom labels per organization. And each custom label can hold 1,000 characters in the length. Take notes of it. Now let's take a homework. When hiring manager report is created, post a message to the group which is called as a hierarchy integration. Now where is this hierarchy integration? Where should you have to post it? Now if you go to the Salesforce, you will see a charter. There is a charter box will be there. In this charter box, we have a groups. So what you need to do, you click on this plus button, create a hierarchy integration. To create hierarchy integration. Now this is the group name. Now once you create it, access type, just give a public and allow customers, broadcast, click on this, save and next. Public use cannot have a customers. Click on this, save. Now if you have any images, you can upload images. It is similar to the WhatsApp group. So click on upload it, and who all needs access, everybody are add the members into the group. Now if you go to the charter, click on this charter. Now we have a group which is called as a hierarchy integration. We have a group which is called as a hierarchy integration. Now in this hierarchy integration, you can post anything. This is a group similar like a WhatsApp group. In this group, you can add multiple people. Now what you need to do assignment. So whenever the hiring record is created, using the platform event, you need to post a message in the hierarchy integration. And you have to use the object whenever you are creating the platform event object. Like you need to create a platform event custom object. In that custom object, you have to create a field which is called as a sender details and message. Sender details, which is a text, and message is also text. So this is in the platform event creation. Platform event. So what is this exactly? Now if you go to the setup, yesterday we have created a platform event object, right? So if you search here platform event, now you need to create a platform event here similar to whatever we did it yesterday. So create this platform event and create the fields which is called as a sender details and message. Sender details and message. Create it. And with the help of platform event, whenever the hiring manager record is created, you need to post a message to the group which is called as a hierarchy integration. The next one which is called auto launch flow, which is no trigger. Now we have a auto launch flow. Now if you go to the flow and click on the new flow, we are done with screen flow, record trigger flow, schedule trigger flow, platform event trigger flow. Now we are going to see the auto launch flow, no trigger. Auto launch flow, no trigger. Now what is this auto launch flow, no trigger? So basically the auto launch flow, no trigger is nothing but, now we know that if it is a record triggered flow, as soon as the record is created, this is going to fire. Screen flow is nothing but if you want to implement a screen and if you want to place the screen onto the Salesforce UI, you can use the screen flow. Schedule trigger flow is nothing but whenever it is scheduled, that means if you want to go for a scheduling it, then you know that we have to go for a schedule trigger. Platform event is nothing but based on the event communication. If you want to fire anything, then we have to go for a platform event. Now, auto launch flow. Auto launch flow cannot be executed by itself. It cannot be executed by itself. Auto launch flows always calls from the either Apex Process Builder API or could be another flow. Auto launch flow is called by any other members, right? So other members is nothing but this auto launch flow can be called from another flow. Auto launch flow can be called from Apex. Auto launch flow can be called from Lightning, which is the Lightning Aura or Lightning LWC. Auto launch flow no trigger is called from the Process Builder, or else auto launch flow no trigger can be called from the actions. The actions, which is nothing but a button. Now, in the object level, we have a button, links, actions are there, right? From there also, you can call this lightning flow. From there also, you can call the auto launch flow no trigger. So, auto launch flow no trigger is nothing but it does not fire it based on the user input. It will fire only by the Apex or Lightning Aura, or could be a different flow, or could be from the Apex action. Whatever the actions are there, from the actions it will be launched. Now let's see the use case of it. Now the use case is, let's say that we are going to implement a auto launch flow to create a task with below details when the account is created. Whenever the account is created, I wanted to created task. So while creating the task, we have a certain information: subject, due date, today's date, description, account description, related to ID, account ID, owner ID is account owner. Owner ID is account owner, which is account ID. So whenever the account is created, I wanted to create a task. Now here, in this case, we need to provide that means this auto launch flow should, now how we are going to create it here? I'm going to implement a auto launch flow. So we'll have a start button in the auto launch flow. So assume that this is a start button. Then this start button will have a, I'm going to get another one which is called as a get account details. Get account details. Now here I'm going to get the account details. Now for this account details, how I'm going to get it? Somebody from the outside has to pass the record ID to this auto launch. Somebody from the outside has to pass the account ID to this auto launch flow. Based on the ID, we are going to get the account details. Now the next thing is that for this account, we are going to create a contact. We are going to create a task. For this account, we are going to create a task. We are going to create task. While creating the task, you need to specify certain information. Now finally, we'll have an end. Finally, we'll have an end. Which is end. This auto launch flow. Auto launch flow started and pass the ID to the auto launch flow. And then get account details, create a task, and then end. Now let's go ahead and create it. Auto launch flow, click on a create. Start button. Then I'm going to get the records. Now in order to get the records, I need to use which element do I need to use it for the get records? Get account details, which element do I need to use it?
Get records.
Get records element. And say here get account details. Now, object is account object. Account object, which is a client. And next we have a conditions. Conditions where it is ID. ID equals to, now how do I capture the ID from outside? Now somebody has to pass the ID to this flow. Now how do I pass it?
New resource.
We need to create a resource. In the resource, what is the resource type? Should I need to take it?
Variable.
Record ID.
Variable.
Variable in that.
Variable and
API name is record ID.
Am I capturing the ID from, if you are capturing the ID from top URL, then you should take the record ID. Okay, if somebody else is passing to this, assume that process builder is creating the account and passing that ID to this resource. That means I can take any API name, which is account ID. Now, what should be the data type?
Record.
Record.
Record or ID?
ID, ma'am.
ID means which type of a data type?
Text.
ID is alphanumeric, which is a text. Do I need to provide the available for input, output?
Yes, ma'am. We have to provide.
Provide the input. Click on done. Now we are passing the account ID. ID equals to account ID. Then we are going to get the complete record of it. Automatically store all the values. Click on done. Now I need to create a task. For creating a task, which element do I need to use it? For creating a task.
Action.
For creating a task, we have a task, right? Create a task. We have an account. As soon as the account record is created, I need to create a task. So new task. For creating a new task, which element do I need to use it?
Create account.
Create record. Create task. Now here one record and then use all the values. Object is task. The record is task. Let's say object task. No. And separate data. The first field is, let's say, activity date. Activity date equal to flow current date. What are the current date we have? I'll take the current date. Click on add. Now we have a, what else we have? Owner ID, which is nothing but assigned to whom? Assigned to the account details dot ID dot owner ID dot owner ID. Now add the field here, priority. Priority equals to, let's say, high. And click on the add field. Status. Let's keep the status equal to, pick list values will be shown here. Let's say status equal to in progress. Now, how do I know that? So here it is a subject, due date, name, related to, assigned to, status. These all data I need to provide it. So now next I need to provide the subject. Subject is also a pick list value. Subject is also a pick list value. So let's go to the flow builder, click on add field. And let's say here subject. Subject equal to value is, let's say, call. And then I'm going to provide what ID. So what ID is nothing but account ID. So where I'm going to get account ID? Account ID I'm getting it from the outside, which is account ID. Now here what ID? There are two types of IDs are there. What ID and who ID. what ID and who ID. Who ID is refers to a person. So which is nothing but person details are stored in the user, contact, and lead. What ID is nothing but other objects, which is nothing but account, opportunity, right? These all are what ID. So apart from this person objects, all the objects are what ID. Who ID is nothing but which is talks about the human related objects, which are user, contact, lead. Now let's say here what ID equal to I'm providing the account ID and click on done. Now click on save this. Let's say here save record. So here save the flow. Let's say here flow. Flow label is, let's say, what we are doing it, we are creating a task. Create a task on flow. Create a task on flow. Click on save. Now before activating it, let's create it. Let's say same object, I'm going to create a task. Click on this, debug. I'm going to provide the account ID. Click on run. And it says that task is created. Now you will be able to see this task. This task is created and attached to the account ID. Now this is the task 00T. Now click on this. Let's say here I'm passing the task ID on top URL. Call and link to the Rangas form. Right? Okay. These are the data which we have provided. Now, whenever we are doing the flow, what are the best practices that we have to follow? Always test the flow before deploying it. Before deploying to the any other org, you need to first test it. Never perform DML statements in loop. Do not use any DML statement within the loop. Document your flow. Whatever the flow is there, just document it. And then plan for, like, never hard code it. Whatever the IDs or API names, if you have any hard coded values, never do any hard coding directly in the flows. And also when you are doing it, the flow, make sure that you have a false. False are nothing but exceptions. Right? So if you click on this, now add a fault path. So you need to add a fault path. So you can add a fault path, which is could be a action, you are calling the action, or yeah, you are calling the action. From the action, you can pass like some messaging. Right? So what are the post to charter? Post to charter, which is a messaging. Let's say here, message, what message do you want to post it? And which target ID? What is the target name or a target ID and experience cloud side? What is the target type? Do you have any target type? And advanced. If you want to post anything, you can post it here. Target name and the ID is nothing but you need to add the charter group name or the record whose you want to feed the or you want to post it. Experience cloud site. Do you want to add any experience cloud site? This is basically for the digital experience. Do you want to add any target type? In that case, you can enable. So if you want to post anything, you can just add the fault path. So the fault path is mandatory. You have to add it. And the best thing is that always use the subflows. Create a flows, smaller chunks, and then call the flow from another flow. So you need to always utilize the flows for a clearness and reusable, scalable way to manage the flow. And do not forget to check for null or empty results. Do not forget to check null or empty results in the decision element before acting as a set record. And the next one is check the record and field level security. What is the field level security? Take a notes of it. Assignment. You guys have to do it right now. Everyone. Implement auto launch flow. To update case status to escalated. Implement a auto launch flow to update a case status to escalated. Everyone has to do in the class. Do it and send me the screenshot of the assignment.
Ma'am, here means update case status to escalated means previously anything it means particular.
Previous whatever the status it might be, like we have a case status. Let's say here, cases. If previous status is not equal to escalated, then only update the status to the working. So if it is not a previous status is not escalated, then only update to escalated.
Okay.
Auto launch flow, no trigger. So we will see the introduction of the next flow, which is called as a flow orchestration. So flow orchestration is nothing but an aggregation of a flow. It's an aggregation of flow. By using the flow orchestration is nothing but which is a combination of stream flow as well as the auto launch flow. So with the combination of these two, we will be implementing the flow orchestration. So Salesforce allows the customer to use the power of flow orchestration to create a multiple users, multi-stage and multiple steps. So far, whatever the flows we have implemented, it is for the single user or single step. But using the orchestration, we will not be implementing the flow from the scratch. We will be using the existing flow, whatever the existing flows we have, the existing flows, using the existing flows, we will be implementing the multi-user, multi-stage, multi-step. That means flow orchestration run. This is similar to the record trigger flow. Whatever the orchestration is there, this runs similar to the record trigger flow. So take a notes of it. It always runs in the after trigger, like after creating, after update, similar to the record trigger. The flow orchestration is nothing but we will have a multiple stages, multiple steps, multiple users are involved in the flow orchestration. Flow orchestration is divided into the stage 1 and stage 2. Orchestration is divided into the stage 1, stage 2. And again, stage 1 is divided into the step 1 and step 2. Again, stage 2 will have a step 1 and step 2. Similarly, steps will have a background step, interactive step. Every step will have a background step and interactive step. Orchestration starts with the stages. Multiple stages will be there, and each stage will have a steps. Could be a 2 steps, could be a 1 step, could be a more than 2 steps. Every stage will have a step, and each step will be having a background step and interactive step. Each step will have a background step and interactive step. Now here, background step is nothing but auto launch flow. Background step is nothing but auto launch, no trigger. Interactive step is nothing but a screen. Interactive step is nothing but a screen. Interactive step is screen. Background step is nothing but auto launch flow, no trigger. Auto launch flow, no trigger. Done, taken the notes. Now we will see the examples tomorrow, flow orchestration. So that's all for today.